Everyone, just wanted to hop on the mic and go over the plays of the day. I did not take any trades today as I was not around. I had stuff to take care of, but that's okay. So just quick market analysis. It was a pretty balanced day, which makes for some tough setups on the market themselves. So looking to break out of that tomorrow. But let's just get right into the plays that I charted. Probably wouldn't have taken anything actually. Well, I don't think I charted this fully since I was away from my desk. But anyway, I charted these guys. So let's get into the plays of the day. First one we have here is Twitter. Twitter, I've been looking at this 51.75 level for a while. Not a while, but quite a bit. We had this kind of descending channel here. It looked like a falling wedge a little bit. But we kind of broke out, came back above, and then I love this kind of strong rejection here. Broke out again below it, kind of holding value here. So buyers are pretty weak, sellers were in control. And I like this 51.75 level because this is the low of this candle, and it was just a key level in general compared going back to here. 51.75 is a key level here. And we had some blood to fill. There was not really any demand zones here, I believe. Yeah, not looking too bright. So I just said that there would be blood 51.75 with a final target of 50, with scaling out targets at 51 on the dot and so on. And intraday, it looked really, really nice. It was just a slow grind. So not really what you want to see, honestly, because then premiums get kind of chopped up, but that's all right. The trade did work out, and the entry would have been, excuse me, right as we broke below here. We had increasing volume here. It's an interesting candle. You can see that this candle is kind of not really thick body, but look at this volume candle. That just tells me that, it's kind of a tug of war here, in whichever way it's going to go. It's going to go in favor of whoever gives out first. But I did like how this ended red. It indicated selling pressure. We're below VWAP, and we kind of came out here with VVM, which was nice. We had, decent volume here, and I would have gotten in here with a stop above with a stop above VWAP, or about maybe 52, since it's a psychological whole number, somewhere around then. And then this just would have been a slow grind the rest of the day, and it was just bloody. It was blood. All right, on to the next one. ROBLOX, another amazing setup that I had. Really wish I caught this one. This thing has just been a beast lately. I had this 4-hour RBNR, or speculation of this 4-hour RBNR after a really strong day prior. So right there, and it corresponded with this mini wedge it created at the end of the trading session. So I said, all right, if we open up here, which was crazy, we did, and if we bolt out of there, that'd be a great time to, buy in. And you can see in the first minute, we had really amazing volume. Just kidding, I lied. We didn't have that great volume at all. But on the first 5-minute candle, we had some decent volume. So this 1 minute RBNR would have been good to take, but I would have been looking at it on a 5-minute candle. So just showing that buyers are still kind of strong and present. It would have been nice to get long here, and as soon as we break either this wedge, most likely this 4-hour RBNR kind of key level area, would have taken it and scaled accordingly. So that would have worked out very nicely. And on to the next one. Microsoft, same kind of scenario here, 4-hour RBNR. Unfortunately, it didn't work out as planned. So this one probably, if I did take this one, I probably wouldn't have been focused on this one just because I wasn't in love with this setup. There was a lot better setups going on here. I probably wouldn't have been focused on this one. I probably would have been focused on Apple. And because this one just didn't have all the confirmation I was looking for. But let's say I did take this, I would have taken it as soon as I see this coming in here. And with a stop very closely, probably below 339.97, because that is a failed 4-hour RBNR kind of thing, or just kind of general support. Let's see if I want to pick a stop. Where would it have been? It probably would have been, right here, this 339.8 area. And we kind of see it bounce a little bit and, come back up a little bit. Maybe scale one here, I'm not sure. Maybe not, but as soon as I see this coming down here, then I got to get out for a loss, and that's okay. Not all of them are going to be winners, but I think all of them except Microsoft was a winner today in terms of the setups that I had planned. Next one we got was Apple. Apple was a beautiful setup. It had so many things going for it. I like this 151.5 key level. It had this downtrend line here, this orange line you see here, and a 4-hour RBNR. So that would have been the top watch of the day for me. And then it was also relatively strong in pre-market, which is important. If you just take a look at Apple real quick in terms of just to show or illustrate the relative strength here, you can clearly see that the first 5-minute candle is red or green compared to NQ's first 5-minute candle. If we take a look a little bit, a little bit closer, we can go to the first minute of the day. You see that NQ is kind of like a doji-looking candle, whereas Apple had this beautiful strong candle here, and as soon as we broke above this 151.5 area I had marked, that would have been a good way to get in. And yeah, with a stop below this sort of 151.4 area where VWAP is, that you expect it to bounce there, kind of just grind up, and then we kind of took off here and got $1 on the on the underlying equity, which was huge, and then we just absolutely blasted off. Again, if you're trading Apple intraday, noticing that there's relative strength, you could easily look at this little guy here, our handy dandy friend we call a wedge. This kind of, this is just rough, but you get the idea. You can see that volume came in as soon as we broke out. That's exactly what you want to see. High of daybreak, which is not my favorite just because retail likes to chase here, but it followed through very nicely, and wow, look at that move. Very impressive. All right, next one we have here is Snapchat. This is just a longer one. It didn't play out today. It's still balancing. I'm waiting for this 57.14 area. Just keep that in mind, but I'll talk about that when it gets closer. AMD, super interesting move here. You can see that on the daily chart, a little bit clearer maybe on the 1-hour chart. We've kind of been like in this weird wedge. This is kind of just like messy area, but you can kind of see that we've been respecting this, channel, whatever you want to call it, for a little bit, or this trend line at least. I don't know. But yeah, it's been kind of wild or wonky. I probably wouldn't have taken this trade, even though it worked out. And the reason being is if we look over at NQ, it was approaching fresh 3-hour and fresh 4-hour supply as well. Where are we? Here we are. Right here. Yes. Okay. And if you see that, I do not like taking breakouts when NQ is close to supply, especially when a name like AMD is involved. So we can see that had this strong rejection here. So again, I wouldn't have gotten in just because. I might have gotten in. Let's see, right? It's possible I might have gotten in here. Probably not though, considering that I definitely wouldn't have actually, because we were in 3-hour supply, we were in 4-hour supply. And granted the market was strong and supply is going to be acted as a profit-taking area. It's just a lower probability trade, even though it did work out and we grinded up $1.50 on the underlying equity there. So it worked, but I wouldn't have taken it. Oracle, ORCL. This one I'm gearing up for a very interesting move. And I thought we were going to get the move again today, but as you can see, we recently broke out of this kind of wedge looking thing, this falling wedge, which is beautiful, and I expected some continuation. We didn't really get that exactly per se. If you look at this 4-hour RBNR, it kind of failed here, which wasn't great, but I'll come back to the 4-hour chart in just a moment. But this looked like it would have, okay, so this one would also be a loser. Also another, but yeah, so it would have been a loser as well if I had taken it here, but would have probably gotten out as soon as I saw, kind of no reaction from buyers. So that would have been a loser as well, and that's okay. It just wasn't the right time. And the 4-hour chart is interesting because we have, kind of 3 black crows now, is what they call them, or the three dark crows. I forget exactly the name of it, but this looks good for tomorrow or something, or another, gearing up for another move higher. and interested to see how that plays out. So I hope you guys learned something in this video. Please let me know if I can help in any way, and I hope you guys have an awesome rest of your day.